Everyone likes to talk about their favorite guilty pleasure TV shows. You know, the shows that we love, but for some reason feel like we shouldn't. But, I don't know, man. These days, I never really feel embarrassed by the shows I watch. Super Mario Bros. Super Show, stupid fun. Do the Mario, I dig it. Teen Titans Go, silly and harmless, movie's pretty good, I dig it. Steven Universe? I mean, come on. I dig it. Rick and Morty?
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Lubba lubba dub dub! And that's the way! I'm Pickle Rick!
Oh, I dig it, yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who have gone their entire lives without TV or the internet up until now and have no idea what I'm talking about, Rick and Morty is a weird sci-fi fantasy slice of life animated adult comedy thing that has become a massive phenomenon over the last few years. And hey, the next season starts tomorrow, so I figured there's no better time to take a look back and see where all of this started. But first, since the holidays are coming up, or, well, happening right now, I wanted to let you guys know that we have a brand new shirt up in the FootofaFerret store. It's a limited edition ugly sweater shirt with long sleeves. We all know about the ugly sweater trend. Well, now you can rock your favorite tradition that you like to think is ironic, but really you just like doing it, but now with me! It makes a great gift, too. I can see it now. Your friend/family member opens up their gift and you see their face light up as they unfold the shirt and they say, "Who's that guy?" Just thinking about it fills me with holiday cheer. So if you want a really high quality and comfortable shirt to sport over the holidays, or if you want to get it as a gift for someone, all you gotta do is head to the top link in the description or go to creatorinc.com/FootofaFerret. But like I said, these shirts are limited edition for the holidays, so get them while you can. And of course, the I Am the Salt t-shirts are still available too. And with that said, let's get back to Rick and Morty. This is a brief history. So let's go back to the mid-2000s. You got these guys Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland who had both separately been working in TV for years. But for this story, I want to focus on a few of their side projects. You see, around this time, Dan Harmon was helping launch Channel 101, a non-profit monthly short film festival. And not long after that, Justin Roiland was making and submitting short films to that very festival. Now, Roiland had a bit of a shocking sense of humor, and he was not shy about letting it show in his shorts. Reword that. And the audiences weren't super into it. It was less of a... and more of a... what's happening? But while the audiences were confused, Harmon did take a liking to Roiland's style. So Roiland kept up his submissions to the monthly film festival and eventually, in October of 2006, put together his true, life-changing magnum opus, and I'm not even exaggerating here, The Real Animated Adventures of Doc and Marty. Yes, Doc and Marty, like from Back to the Future, but like bootleg Back to the Future. Great Scott, Marty, we have to get back to the future. It's not you, Marty, it's your kids.
Doc, are you trying to tell me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? That's heavy, that's heavy, that's heavy, that's heavy, that's...
This crudely animated fever dream was, super not advertiser friendly, let's just leave it at that. It was meant to be a troll at big studios like Universal. Roiland just wanted to make something super shocking in the hopes he'd get a cease and desist. The whole thing focused on two parodies of Doc Brown and Marty McFly voiced by Roiland. And really, that's all the cartoon needed to become a hit with the Channel 101 crowd. Doc and Marty just talked back and forth, repeating each other's names and spewing nonsense. The whole thing felt totally manic, and the audiences lost their minds laughing. It clearly struck a chord. So Roiland kept it up, making more animated shorts and posting them online for free, while also collaborating with Harmon on various other projects. But by 2009, Dan Harmon was busy creating and running this little obscure comedy show called Community, no big deal. And Justin Roiland's schedule became filled with voice acting gigs on shows like Fish Hooks and Adventure Time. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know who he was on Adventure Time, and if you don't, that is unacceptable! So our dynamic duo were busy with their own stuff, but they did cross paths again a few years later. You see, in 2012, Dan Harmon was fired from Community for, like, one season before they brought him back. But in that brief break from Community, Harmon was contacted by Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, who were just like, hey, we want a show, what you got? To which Harmon responded by hanging up the phone, and then picking it back up, calling Justin Roiland and saying, hey, Adult Swim wants a show, what you got? Yeah, Dan Harmon wasn't particularly comfortable pitching a show to Adult Swim on his own. Adult Swim was mostly known for 15-minute long cartoons, and Harmon was used to making 30-minute long live-action shows that were focused on characters and dialogue. So he went to Roiland. Now, for years leading up to this, Roiland had been trying and failing to pitch cartoons to Fox. He had tons of ideas for different shows, but through each one he pitched, there was always one constant. Those freaking Doc and Marty voices. Those two voices always found their way into pitches one way or another. So when Roiland got the call from Harmon asking for cartoon ideas, he was just like, what about Doc and Marty? Well, I mean, sure, but we can't call them that, we'll get sued. Fine. We'll call them something original like, Rick and, Morty. Truly, your finest work, my dude. And just like that, Rick and Morty was born. I mean, seriously, it was that simple. The two pitched it to Adult Swim and wrote the pilot all in the same day. And it only took like 6 hours, which is insane. It took me longer than that just to write the script for this video. Anyway, Rick and Morty officially premiered on Adult Swim on December 2nd, 2013, and even from day one, this was clearly something special. Rick and Morty followed the adventures of Morty Williams, an average, shy teenager whose grandpa, Rick Sanchez, just so happens to be a dimension-hopping, space-traveling alcoholic inventor who takes Morty on all kinds of adventures across the multiverse. And I mean, that's nothing crazy new as a concept, but it was all the things Rick and Morty had on top of that that made it stand out. You had Justin Roiland's signature voice acting and improv, really creative worlds and characters, super clever yet dumb as rocks humor, and a uniquely nihilistic view of the world, all of which audiences immediately resonated with. In the first season alone, Rick and Morty received massive critical acclaim and saw well over 1 million viewers per new episode, even crossing 2 million for its season finale. In fact, Rick and Morty was such an immediate hit that it was renewed for a second season only 1 month after its premiere. And season 2 just ramped up Rick and Morty's momentum even more. Ratings steadily climbed and audiences just fell more in love with the show. But it was season 3 where things went crazy. First off, you had the season premiere. It was a prank. Seriously, the very first episode of the new season was dropped without warning on April Fool's Day 2017. The rest of the season didn't even start until July. Not to mention, this episode featured a certain saucy joke that we'll talk about later. But it was more than just dropping episodes out of the blue Beyonce style. Once season 3 was in full swing, ratings were at an all-time high. Plus, you had episodes like Pickle Rick sparking catchphrases, memes, and all kinds of merchandise. By 2017, Rick and Morty had gone from a popular new show to a full-fledged phenomenon. But, of course, once something gets that popular, there is gonna be backlash. And the same year Rick and Morty reached its peak popularity, it also became arguably one of the most divisive shows on TV. Not necessarily because of the show itself, but because of outside incidents. And now we're getting to it. When I told my friends I was doing an episode about Rick and Morty, they all said the same thing. Are you gonna talk about that? I mean, you have to. So, let's go. We gotta talk about Szechuan sauce. In the first episode of season 3, Rick goes on one of his classic tirades all about a limited run McDonald's dipping sauce made to promote the movie Mulan in 1998, Szechuan sauce. The Rick and Morty fanbase latched onto this gag and, as you do, turned it into a meme. They even made petitions asking McDonald's to bring the sauce back. And you know what? They did. Sorta. It was never actually affiliated with the show, but in the wake of the Rick and Morty meme, McDonald's did bring back the sauce for a bit. But, let's just say supply didn't meet demand. Select McDonald's had like a handful of sauce packets to hand out, but hundreds of people flooded the restaurants hoping to snatch that sauce. And when they didn't get it, things didn't go great. People basically started protesting their local McDonald's for not having a nugget sauce. Some people were being jerks to the workers, there were people legitimately chanting, "We want sauce," and just generally causing commotion. And most infamously, a video started circulating online of a guy who hopped up on the counter, screamed, "Pickle Rick, wubba lubba dub dub," pulled his shirt over his head and fell to the ground before Naruto running out of the restaurant. Now, the guy in that video wasn't being serious, he was trying to be ironic, do a bit of a meme, but even so, this video and this entire incident kind of became the go-to example of why some people were getting a little sick of Rick and Morty by the end of season 3. So Rick and Morty was just like, "Oh, you want a break? Well, fine!" and then disappeared for 2 years. Yeah, the 3rd season ended on October 1st, 2017, and the show hasn't come back since. I mean, we knew that there'd be more Rick and Morty as early as May of 2018 when it was announced that Adult Swim had ordered freaking 70 more episodes of the show. But we didn't have any actual idea when Rick and Morty would be back until last month on October 6th, 2019, when a trailer was dropped announcing that the first half of season 4 would premiere starting tomorrow, on November 10th, 2019. So yeah, the story of Rick and Morty has been a weird one. But at the end of the day, I really do love this show. And among other shows, I feel like Rick and Morty has helped breathe a ton of fresh new life into the world of mature cartoons. And that's all thanks to the freedom its creators had to just make whatever they wanted. And with the show's 4th season starting tomorrow, plus dozens of episodes planned after that, the only real question left is, do you think they'll bring back Szechuan sauce again for the live-action Mulan? Because I am ready to riot!